Welcome to Beyond Ocean and Maine, MCM's news magazine program. I'm Robert Goitis.
And I'm Ivana Osborne.
The Steeple School of Trinity Church is quickly reaching its 60th anniversary.
Leading figures within the school shared with us their plans for celebrating this anniversary, as well as what the school has brought to the community.
Trinity Church does an awful lot in community engagement. So first of all, of course, our biggest community engagement program is Steeple School of Trinity Church. It's been around for 60 years now, working with hundreds of children go through the program, and it's had a really big impact on the local community, providing a service that is very special.
Steeple School is a program, a nonprofit preschool and nursery program in Marshfield that provides an educational experience for children that are 2.9 to 6 years old. Our overall mission is to provide a safe, nurturing environment for children to come and learn through play and experience a joy for learning in the early years as they embark on their educational experiences. Steeple School is a perfect transition from home to school. We provide a nurturing environment here. By following the standard and guidelines of the Department of Education's Early Education and Care, we also provide a multisensory opportunity for learning throughout the day. So we provide a program that allows children to come and experience a first start of their education in a manner that is play-based and nature-based, so that they can experience the learning process in a way that becomes a memory for them, that can be easily retrieved for future endeavors in their learning experiences as they move forward in school. We have a wonderful area outside that gives them a chance to grow and learn and experience the joys of nature while they are learning certain things through their classroom curriculum.
This is such a unique program that there's very few like it anywhere, where the children spend so much of their time outside and working with their hands, crafting things. The kids are constantly busy doing things, learning through touch and learning through play. And certainly the outdoor component is amazing. It's a huge facility with lots of different learning centers that help educate the kids on nature, on where we really come from, and sort of grounding them in who we are as human beings.
We have generations of students. One of my teachers came here. Her children came here. My children came here. My grandchildren come here now. The generational love for Steeple School is just so fantastic.
Just its success and how they have filled the need for so many families over all these years. And when problems arose, like COVID, and they adjusted their curriculum to outdoor classrooms, and just watching the growth of the school is just amazing for 60 years.
We are very excited this year to be celebrating the 60th anniversary of Steeple School of Trinity Church. And we have a whole weekend in June set up, with starting out with a Friday evening party, which will be in Johnson Hall, more of a cocktail party. We want all the alumni and past teachers and residents and just all the people that have been affected by Steeple School over the years to be able to come. So we start the weekend with the Friday evening celebration in Johnson Hall, which will be sort of cocktails, appetizer kind of party. And then we have the main event will be on the Saturday afternoon here at Steeple School, where there'll be plenty of activities for kids and parents, and really to introduce people back that haven't been here in a long time to all the new things going on. And at the same time on Saturday, the Johnson Hall will be open with a bit of a history tour of the Steeple School. And then the final part is on Sunday morning. We're dedicating the 9:30 church service to be a dedication, a thank you really to all the years that the school has provided early childhood education. The celebration is the weekend of June 7th, 8th, and 9th, with the main date being the 8th.
I'm proud of over so many years. This is our 60th, And I'm proud of the fact that it has continued to be a well-recognized asset to the community by parents and students and graduates who have attended here and continue to bring back their children or recommend it to other families.
Steeple School has brought so much to the community. We have provided a program for 60 years, a need that was met 60 years ago, and that has continued to be a necessary part of the Marshfield community. Not only do we serve Marshfield, but a lot of the surrounding communities as well. And that is just a great impact on what we can do to help our neighbors. Our community here provides such a wonderful start to the education of the youngest of our community members. We like to say that we're practicing life skills here. We're getting them ready to be proud of who they are and be the best versions of themselves. It makes us very proud. We're proud of all we do here at Steeple School. The teachers here bring such joy to the program here, and knowing that the children are prepared when they leave here and go on to the next grade validates what we're doing is the right thing by the children, by the families, and by the educational system that we're helping to begin for these children in the early years.
As the warden of Trinity Church, we're very proud that Steeple School has turned into such an amazingly successful early childhood education experience, and we're very happy to continue to support that in the years to come.
The Wall of Honor is a way for those in the Marshfield Public School District to be recognized for being outstanding educators.
This year's inductees, along with the chair of the Marshfield School Committee, reflected on their accomplishments and on the importance of the Wall with Us.
So the Wall of Honor was created in 2017 by the school committee as a way of recognizing educators who go above and beyond. We have nominations come in every year. They are not just of former teachers, but former administrators, community members who have made such a large impact on the schools. Even former students can be nominated for going above and beyond the mission of Marshfield Public Schools. And it's like a hall of fame of educators. And we induct 3 people every year. And this year we inducted Dr. Susan Dupuis, Mr. Warren Searfoss, and Mr. Lou Silva. So these 3 folks have impacted Marshfield education and our students in a really significant way. Dr. Susan Dupuis was our Director of Special Education and then later our Assistant Superintendent for Special Education, created new innovative practices that helped students of all abilities reach their maximum potential.
So I worked in Marshfield for 14 years before I retired, and I've been retired 6 years. I was the Assistant Superintendent for Special Education and Pupil Personnel. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. I love Marshfield. I love the community. No matter what you needed to do, they always supported you, and I always felt supported, which is really difficult when you're working with special education because it can be costly. But I always felt that I was supported in that role, and we always had the best teachers, the best parents, the best school committee that supported and allowed us to build programs and to take risks, and always found the financial support for that. And I think that allowed us to do things like the Wonder Fair. And then we also were able to build relationships with Bridgewater State College. We were able to build programs for students that would have been out of district. We were able to build those programs from preschool all the way up to the high school so that the students could be in their community and with their peers. And that support had to come from school committee to principals to the staff, and everybody embraced that. When I got the call that I was nominated for the Wall of Honor, I was surprised. I've been retired almost 7 years, but I think that the Wall of Honor, and if you look at Lou Silver and Warren, and it's not just our accomplishment alone, it's more than that. They all made some significant difference in one person's or one family's or one staff member's life and experience.
Mr. Warren Searfoss was a longtime science teacher who really mentored a lot of younger teachers along his 35-plus year career.
So I, Ryan Behan, accepted the Wall of Honor Award on behalf of my grandfather, Warren Searfoss, because my grandfather was a very intelligent man, and I am very honored to have for him to be my grandfather. My grandfather was a biology teacher, and he worked through the high school for over 40 years. He has established many connections. I've talked to many former students of his, and they've always looked on him very favorably, and he's just had a very significant impact on the community as a whole. His biggest contributions, as with many teachers, is simply just establishing connections, teaching the youth very vital information. Even though biology, a lot of people may not go into biology in the future, it's that teamwork and that responsibility, compassion, and accountability.
And then Mr. Lou Silva was a longtime math teacher in the district, but of course was also the football coach, where he won 4 state titles over a 40-plus year run. So there's a selection committee. There's a whole process where they have to be nominated. Nominations come in probably around May or June, and then the committee gets together to review the nominations. So every year we have a ceremony to recognize our inductees. We invite anybody in the general public who wishes to come, as well as obviously the inductees, their family, their friends, and just a whole lot of people who have been impacted by them. We had the ceremony this year at Haddad's. Each inductee has a testimonial speech that is given, and then each inductee, if they're with us, is able to address the crowd.
You know, I always feel uncomfortable whenever I receive an honor, but I really do think that this is more than just my honor.
I personally believe the Wall of Honor as a whole is a very great thing because it honors people in Marshfield, the history of Marshfield. It enforces people to recognize that these people have impacted our community.
I think the Wall has given those who have been inducted a nice opportunity to have folks say thank you. One thing that always strikes us about the Wall of Honor event is how meaningful it is for those who are being inducted and for their families. I think the Wall allows the community to say thank you to these folks and gives us an opportunity to recognize educational excellence. It's always a really feel-good thing when we can put out there the values and the virtues of our very best educators. The Wall of Honor is successful because people make nominations of educators. So we really rely on the community to keep an eye out for that. If you had a favorite teacher, or if you know of somebody in the community who goes above and beyond for Marshfield Public Schools and has for a long time, we encourage you to nominate those people for the Wall of Honor, because that's how we can keep giving people their flowers.
The Marshfield Lodge of Elks recently had a leadership change in their exalted rulers.
Both the most recent and current exalted rulers sat down with us to discuss the position and its importance to the community.
The Lodge of Elks is a group of American citizens, men and women, who live by 4 virtues: charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity. We work, with our members, and we do a lot of stuff, a lot of community work for the town, Marshfield, as well as the surrounding communities. Our mission is to provide support for the community and members in the time of need. We've been very good in the past with helping the schools, police, fire, veterans especially, and other organizations, not only in Marshfield, throughout the state, and we have donated throughout the country.
Exalted ruler is elected for a 1-year position from the members of the lodge. Usually there's a 5-year process to work your way up into being exalted ruler. Exalted ruler is the head man in the lodge, but actually the board of directors runs the organization. Exalted ruler is the person who goes out in the community, interacts with other lodges in the district, the state, and the national, attends a national convention, represents the lodge. As a young man just moving to Marshfield, I was looking for some kind of a social gathering. And a couple of my neighbors invited me to come down to the Elks, which at the time I wasn't sure what it was. I have soon learned over many years what a great organization it is. It's just more than a club, it's a fraternal organization, and you get more out of it than you put into it if you're a member in good standing. I've been an Elk member for 50 years. I've probably been an officer through the lodge for 35 to 40 years. I'm not quite sure, I lost track of that, I've been through many of the offices. I've been exalted ruler 3 times. This last time I was fortunate to be able to be exalted ruler for our 50th anniversary year, which was a great joy to me to be able to do that. I just thought it'd be a great thing to be a leader of this organization. It's a great organization, a great bunch of people standing behind us, and I really want to represent the lodge to the town of Marshfield and into the National Association of Elks.
I joined probably when I was my mid-20s. The Elks used to play in a softball league in town, and I played for a different team, but the Elks were one of the leagues, and my father was here, a member here, so I became a member. I've been more active in the last, say, 10 years or so. Prior to that, I was pretty busy with my family and doing some other stuff. I've been on the board of directors for a few years as a trustee, in other positions, leadership positions, also on the House Committee, and I've also bartended in the past. The Exalted Ruler is elected. Basically, we have 9 board of directors who run the club. The Exalted Ruler is the person that is, contact with local communities and stuff, the state, federals. It's not. I'm the Exalted Ruler, but we have other members that run the club as well. So it's it's not just like my decision. Well, you know what? I looked at the position, and I went through the chairs, which there's a set of chairs. You basically from step to step, and I wanted to continue the work of Phil. Some other good Exalted Rulers prior to Phil. John White has been an Exalted Ruler for many years prior to that. Just wanted to continue the work that they have done. I do know a lot of people in the community. I was raised in Marshfield, so I hope that people, when they hear, Kevin Campbell's the Exalted Ruler of the Elks, they say, hey, you know what, maybe we can talk to Kevin and see if we can, the Elks will support us with this, I was a Boy Scout a long time ago. We do stuff with the Boy Scouts, youth sports groups and community activities and groups.
Our membership has grown immensely. We've almost doubled our membership in the last 8 or 9 years. So we must be doing something right to attract people to come in and want to be part of this organization. My biggest achievement as Exalted Ruler in this particular lodge is we were able to put a lift into our building so that our older members were able to get upstairs to the members' lounge. Personally, to me, that was a major accomplishment. I also think that another accomplishment, I think the town of Marshfield knows more about the Elks and what we do in town. We donate to many charities in the community. Sowing Seeds, Food Pantry, Grad Night Live, We Are Marshfield, Community Christmas. We are here in the Marshfield to do good for the town and help the town any way we can. There's a couple of things that we have slipped during the COVID. Like we used to have a senior citizen dinner, and we used to have the veterans dinner and a veterans cookout. Through the COVID, we let that go. But under Kevin, both items are coming back, so that's really going to be a wonderful thing for this lodge and the community.
I'm following some great people. The community will continue to support the needs of the town and youth groups, elderly, veterans, other charities. We support, muscular dystrophy. We, do other various fundraisers. We help fundraisers and we provide support. I don't think there'll be much change in my leadership other than from Phil. Pretty much have the same ideas on what should be done and what we can do. I guess the part I'm looking forward to the most is working with a lot of new members, current members, and fellow board members on continuing to help the community and its citizens. We haven't done in the past because of issues with the COVID. We're going to bring back the elderly dinner to veterans. We did some veterans and doing some more work with the community and my board members and also the membership. We have a pretty big membership now. We have a lot of people that are asking to get involved, which is good.
After being Executive Director of Marshfield Community Media for the past 16 years, Jonathan Grabowski has decided to move on to new challenges.
Jonathan discussed with us his time at MCM, as well as how much the organization has changed under his leadership.
First off, I'd been here since day one. I'm employee number one. I started here back in 2008. I became an adult at MCM is what happened. And around 2019, I started feeling like, maybe it's time to do something different. Not that I don't love the organization or I don't love working at MCM. It was just, time to take on a new challenge. And then life got in the way. We had a pandemic. I got married. My wife and I moved. We had a child. So all these things that you don't want to change a job during. So then after kind of everything, all the dust settled, I would say the start of last year, 2023, I started thinking about it more and more. And then this fall, I started, hey, maybe it's time to think about it. And had an opportunity presented to me.
I wasn't looking to leave MCM. You know, I wasn't going to leave for any old job. It had to be like the perfect situation, the perfect setting, because MCM has been such a great organization. It's a great organization to me. Have an amazing board, have an amazing staff. So there's no perfect time to leave. It was just an opportunity that was really great, presented itself, and felt that, you know, it's time to move on. And I'm really excited to see what MCM does after I'm gone. So I was hired in March of 2008. The first year was such a massive learning experience. And I was really fortunate that the board was really connected in the community. They were really engaged in the community, which helped me get introduced to it. And it's expanded so much since then because the organization has expanded. You know, when I started, I was the only person. And then for a long time, it was only 2 employees. Now we have 6 full-time people. So it's really grown, and it's been really fun to be part of that growth. So our first 2 years was a lot of, you know, upgrading equipment. It was a lot of old equipment that we inherited from Comcast that we upgraded. And then 2009, the biggest thing we did was we got a new actual broadcast server. So we were no longer having to run and change tapes anymore, which was really great. And then it was just kind of a build from there. And we always had our eyes on a new facility. That was one of the things that myself and the board had always talked about was we need to find a new home. We need to find a new home because our facility at the time had character, had a lot of interesting things going for it, but it wasn't a proper studio facility. And we had some false starts and whatnot. And then due to our relationship with the school department, you know, they were talking about building Marshfield High School, the new Marshfield High School. And we had a few board members that were really engaged with the public school system. And when they went to build Marshfield High School, they wanted to really sell it as a community building. It wasn't just a school, it was a building for the community. And a trend that had started to occur was community media centers moving into high schools. So, you know, as part of our relationship with the school department and supporting the educational access in the community, they said, hey, why don't you move in? And then became all the crazy part of doing all the work to build what we have here at MCM now. I mean, the summer of 2014 was probably the most stressful, craziest summer I ever had when we were actually building this place. And it was really exciting. And, you know, our goal was state-of-the-art and user-friendly. And I think we've really accomplished that. And I think as an organization, we've worked really hard to improve the technology and the access and, you know, what the community can do. You know, one of our things is anywhere in the world, anytime, you know, that people can watch MCM content anywhere in the world on a device they're choosing at any time they want. So it's not just my accomplishments. One of the things that I've mentioned in the past is building the facility here at Marshfield High School. That was a real collaborative effort. You know, we had talked about building a new facility for a couple of years, and then we developed this great relationship during that time with the school department. You know, we are a PEG facility, the E being education. So, you know, that was important for us to, you know, support the education component. You know, we were looking for a home, they were looking for support, and we've built an amazing facility. You know, it's a real shining example of what a great community media center / school partnership looks like. We have a beautiful facility here. People love to come in and see our big studio where we're sitting in right now and see the set and see the psych wall and all that. So that's a huge accomplishment. Getting the organization off the ground. You know, when I started in 2008, community media Marshfield had a really bad reputation. It was viewed in a very negative light. And it took a lot of time to change that perception. And now we're seen as a real integral part of the community. As many people know, we did a rebrand back in 2022. And we had discussions prior to saying, like, where are we going? What does the future look like? And one of the things that kind of came out of that discussion was rebrand the organization, because we're not just a TV studio anymore. We're a media center. You know, you can do a lot of different things. And we've expanded our capabilities and what we offer to the community. So I'd say those are the 3 biggest accomplishments, I would say, but they're not just my accomplishments. They're MCM accomplishments. I knew there was going to be growth. I think when you're in the middle of it, you don't realize how drastic the changes are. And it's evolution. I mean, I started the job when I was 24 years old. I'm, you know, 41 right now. So I've changed a lot. And my ability to lead the organization has changed a lot. And we've had different staff members over the years who have brought in some really unique skills and ideas and stuff like that. The relationships that I've made over the years have made for great memories, and it's cool now to call Marshfield my home. You know, I'm not from Marshfield originally, and when I got the job, my mentor told me, don't live in the community that you work in. And what did I do? I did the opposite. I bought a house in Marshfield, and and I became part of Marshfield. Marshfield accepted me, and when my wife and I are looking to, find a new home a couple of years ago, we really wanted to remain in Marshfield, and luckily enough, we were able to. And it's, it's created a lot of great memories for me as a person and as a professional. I'm gonna miss that. You didn't know what was gonna happen next, whether it be working with someone in the community, something that happened here at the facility, working with the schools or government. There was always something going on. And you always got to work with a wide variety of people. There was always something different going on. In my role as executive director, as it evolved, I was doing multiple things at once. I might be working on the financials and then jumping on to edit a podcast. I'll miss that. I'll miss the constant change and evolving and adapting, and I'll miss the people. That's the big thing. We're so fortunate to work with so many great people. The board of directors here at MCM is the best board I've ever worked with. I'll miss the staff. We've had such a great staff here over the years. We've had so many great employees, and working with them on a daily basis and watching them grow as professionals has been really cool. And I'll really miss working with all the people, the nonprofits, town government, the education people, the business people we work with. That's been, I've made lifelong friends from that stuff. And I think one of the things that I've done is always been a spokesperson for what community media can bring to a community. As I've mentioned, when I came here, community media did not have the greatest reputation in town. It was viewed as a negative, and it was through a lot of work that we turned it into a positive, that there's value in it, that there's ways that we can communicate, that nonprofits can use it to connect, that government can use it to really create open and transparent government, that our schools can use it to show what's going on in our great school district. Businesses can use it to promote themselves as being hyper-local and being community-oriented. So I think that, and then, as weird as it sounds, COVID was a huge thing for us. It was actually a positive because so many organizations and town departments relied on us to get information out and connect with people. And people saw that. And then in the aftermath of COVID, it was like, wow, you guys are really essential to the community and how this community functions and works and communicating with others. So it really created more demand for us too, which was really crazy to think about. I think my leadership is about the value of community media and its importance, that it's essential to a thriving community. It's been a blast. This is like the coolest job in the world in a lot of ways. It's just time for someone else to take up the mantle, but I'm always gonna be appreciative to the organization, the board, the staff, our stakeholders, and most important, the Marshfield community.
This concludes this edition of Beyond Ocean and Maine. Tune in next time. I'm Robert Goitis.
And I'm Ivana Osborne.
Thank you very much for watching.